Yeah, good morning, Bang Bang Rahil. Where I come from, Acton, um, not far from Acton, there's a place called Labatt Grove, Notting Hill. Well, big names around there, mate. Some heavy people come from Labatt Grove, Notting Hill. You know, Peter Marsh, Peter Peterson, Ernie Wise, Dennis Wise, all his Wises, Paul McDermott. There's loads, Alec Jones. Uh, there's loads. Bobby Bill. It absolutely goes on and on and on, yeah. But one of the main men around there who could really march on in the 80s, 90s was a guy called John Lennon. And John Lennon was an handful, mate. Any pub around Labatt Grove, Notting Hill, even Acton's, Ealing Broadways, all around Handwalls and all that. Everybody knew he was. Big respect. He's respected his name, yeah, because the guy he could have a right fight, and he was a good boxer, mate. But he could have a really good fight. And he hit you on the chin, mate. He had massive shoulders, massive arm, big power. Always used his weight, the top half of his body, massive, yeah. About 17 and a half stone, but could march on, mate. And you know, one day, him and a mate of mine, become a good mate of mine, but he was more of a mate of John Lennon's, was a guy called Ernie Wise. Ernie Wise had loads of brothers, but I had talked with Dennis Wise the other day, and he told me his little story, yeah. And he said that John Lennon was the governor, mate, without a shadow of doubt. There was a guy called Peter Marsh, Peter Peterson, that used to knock about together. Marshy became a bad man in lots of ways. John Lennon smashed him to pieces, bashed him right up. He took right liberties, went in the pub and just smashed him to pieces, yeah. Peterson didn't want nothing to do with it. Freddie Peterson could have a right fight, for good boxer as well, Fred. You know, he pulled away, didn't want to know what was going on. And John Lennon, like, even with people like Freddie Foreman, he had trouble with Freddie Foreman. I went down his club, and Freddie Foreman didn't want to know. That's a story. I'm not going to say it never happened, because as far as I know, it did happen. But Ernie Wise, and as I say, Ernie Wise and John Lennon was always about. Ernie used to drive around, always with a baseball bat in the car, never in the boot, always in the front of the car, mate. Any problems, he'd be out of the car, Ernie, and with John, smash people up all day long, pubs up in the Agro. There was a right handful, that little firm. And, and Dennis told me what happened in a pub over at Ealing Broadway, Hanwall, that area called the Old Hat, and it was a white gangsters pub. There was a load of people who used to get in there from Wembley bank robbers. You used to get Jimmy Wilkinson in there, Brian Turner in there, Bertie Smalls in there. There's a load of people, Mickey Greens, and all them people used to go in the Old Hat. It was one of them places that everyone used to go. It was a good pub, you know. All the gangsters around them areas used to go there, yeah. Ernie Wise and John Lennon. John Lennon is a person that once you see him, you're never going to forget who he is, yeah? And his name follows him all the time, always follows him, mate. He's a proper legend, yeah? And he's walked in the pub with Ernie. Most of the people I just mentioned was in that pub. He's gone in there, had a little drink, had a little shout about it like he does. And sometimes you go to different areas and people won't stand for it, but they knew who he was. They knew who John Lennon was. You know, people in there. One person's got to know, then the rest don't know. You know what I mean? It's John Lennon. You know what I mean? And obviously, so people don't want trouble with him. And anyway, a bit of something happened in there. Someone had a go at someone. John Lennon stepped in, told him to behave himself. Someone threw a punch at John. John slipped it, crash, knocked the guy out. I bet one of the guys was a proper face, you know, and this guy can have a right fight, mate. This guy had become a supergrass. Bet the guy could have a right fight. It was Bertie Smalls, yeah. John Lennon, not Bertie Smalls, spark out. He was in the pub, spark out. I decided best to get out of the pub, Ernie and John, because the click, they had a proper click in there. Bertie Smalls, you know, Brian Turner's, Mickey Greens, all that little firm, you know, and there was a lot of people in there that thought, what, and Hanlon knew that he'd got to get out of that pub because it kicks off, and it's going to be a big fight, you know. And they went. And Ernie Wise, well known, his brother Dennis had a pub in Labrador Grove, and he got a phone call from Wilkinson, Jimmy Wilkinson, saying, crash, this, that and the other, you told your brother and that John Lennon, you know, that they're in trouble. We're going to come and see them. So Dennis went mad. What are you talking about? Oh, well, you know, saying this, saying the other. John Lennon got to hear about it. Went up the old hat, you know, with Ernie again, and they walked in the old hat. There was no one there. It was like, you know, the pub was deserted. Usually, it's unusual it would be like that. Perhaps that little Wembley firm was on something, yeah. And he's gone in there. He said, "Listen," he said, "here's a phone number. You get his skis at Wilkinson, Jimmy Wilkinson, give me a call. You know what I mean? You tell him to phone me. It's John Lennon, yeah." So anyway, a couple of days later, it was John Lennon's got a phone call, but not from Jim Wilkinson, but to Ernie Wise, yeah, to Ernie Wise's pub, Dennis Wise's pub. Got a phone call, yeah. So Dennis has gone, "Listen, don't phone me, don't start shouting at me, you know. Listen, why have you phoned my pub? Why have you phoned my pub looking for my brother? I phoned my brother." So the person who's phoning is saying, "Listen, you told your brother we're going to come down with him." He said, "Listen, don't worry about you told my brother you're going to come down with him. You come down with him. You meet him anywhere you want, mate." And put the phone down, yeah. So now Wilkinson has made himself busy with some other people to find out where Ernie Wise lives, you know. And Ernie Wise and John Lennon have been out on a bit of work. They're around the house and having a curl up, this, that and the other. And Ernie Wise is knocker goes, crash. John Lennon's in the front room, Ernie goes out there, and it's Jimmy Wilkinson with about 3 people, but he has other people outside the gate. Wilkinson's come to the door with a shotgun. As he's come to the door sticking the shotgun out, Ernie's picked got hold of the shotgun, and they were having a fight. And all of a sudden the other 2 or 3 come rushing in, and then John Lennon's heard of what's going on, rushed out, boom, hit Wilkinson on the chin. Wilkinson's gone over, Sparko. Yeah, Sparko. The other guys, they're fighting the other guys. They've got the shotgun. They're all shitting themselves now. They're running down the road. When he opens a gun, there's nothing in it. There's no cartridges in the shotgun at all. So Wilkinson just come to a fight or whatever. Thought the people had bowed down to him, but it didn't happen like that. John Lennon's come out and crash. He's hit Wilkinson on the chin and knocked him out. And all of a sudden, one of the guys has come back, and they're trying to get Wilkinson to wake up. And so John Lennon and Ernie Wise gone out, just dragged him out into the pavement and left him there, yeah. And they went for a drink, and come back. He wasn't there, Jim. He wasn't there, but evidently he got knocked spark out by John Lennon, knocked him right out. And he's a guy like Jimmy Wilkinson from the Wembley lot. He's not a guy that you could play around with, because he was a dangerous man. He was a dangerous man, Jim Wilkinson, without a shadow of doubt. All that lot, Brian Turner, Bertie Smalls, all that lot. I mean, John Lennon knocked out Bertie Smalls in the pub, bashed him up in the pub, knocked him spark out, you know. So now I took Jimmy away, and then Jimmy Wilkinson and a few other people have phoned up Dennis Wise, shouting down his pub again. They're saying I'm really going into one. They said, "Listen, I don't know who you are, mate, but you got a big mouth, you know what I mean? Where are you, you know?" And he said, all of a sudden, it was Jim Wilkinson said, "Well, down the old hat, come down and see us if you fancy chances." So Dennis Wise, Ernie Wise, a couple of the other Wises, John Lennon, about 4 or 5 others, all got in the car, straight down the pub. No one in the pub. There wasn't there, mate. There wasn't there. And then all of a sudden, Wilkinson got phoned up Dennis Wise. They said, "Look, you know, I was wrong. I shouldn't have come to the house with a shotgun. There wasn't nothing in it, you know. There's no way that I would have shot whatever. He said I'd just come down as a frightener. And I got whacked on the chin. I got knocked sparks out by John Lennon. Told John I like to have a drink with him and just make things right, yeah. So Dennis said, listen, don't phone my pub up threatening me on the phone, this, that and the other, right? So Dennis Wise has got hold of Ernie and got hold of John Lennon and told John Lennon that Wilkinson and a few other people are down the old hat and they want to make friends of it, yeah? Not the war, stop the war. So John Lennon, he don't give a monkeys, mate. He said, come, we'll go down there. Went down there about 10-handed, proper firm-handed, mate, from Labrador Grove, Notting Hill. Went to the old hat pub, and they're all there. Brian Turner, Bertie Smalls, Jimmy Wilkerson, John Lennon. Anyway, there's a load there, a fucking load. John Lennon walks in with Ernie Wise. About 10 of them walks in the pub, you know, and he clocked Wilkinson straight away. John walks over to Wilkinson. He says, you got a problem with me? He went, listen, if I had a problem with you, John, he says, you wouldn't be walking in the pub. So that's made it even worse to say that to John, yeah? Because now it's a threat again. So John Yanners said, listen, do yourself a favour, yeah? Don't get calling me down the pub, right? And all of a sudden, this starts shouting out this and shouting out that, you know? Have you got you tooled up? And this, that and the other. And Wilkinson said, listen, we're always tooled up, mate. We're always tooled up, but we won't call the truce. I apologise to you for what I did. You know, just shake hands and have a drink. Bertie Smalls, you know, he can have a right fight and he respects you for knocking him out. But he ain't leaving it like that, you know. He wants to know if you want to straighten with him, yeah. So Bertie Smalls and John Lennon had a fight outside the old hat. The old hat is all cobbles outside it, yeah. Had a fight outside the old hat, and John Lennon, Bertie Smalls can listen. Let me say that he might be a supergrass, Bertie Smalls, right? But don't stop him from having a right fight, yeah. And him and John, toe to toe, mate, toe to toe. He didn't have it all his own way, John Lennon. Said that now. But what happened? John Lennon threw a punch and John Lennon never used to throw long punches. His punches maybe travelled 10 inches, maybe even small little crash because he was short, stocky, and could bang. And he's caught Bertie Smalls on the chin and put Bertie Smalls' spark out, mate. But he knocked him out. They reckon Bertie Smalls was out for at least 2 minutes. They thought he'd killed him, yeah. And Bertie Smalls after that went into the old hat, and they're all in there. John Lennon, Ernie Wise, all the Wises, other people, and Bertie Smalls walked in there, and John Lennon's like turned round, and Bertie Smalls put his hands out, and John Lennon shook his hand, mate, and they become all mates. They all become mates, yeah. But never ever, John Lennon, you know, I mean, every time I see John, and Dennis told me the story yesterday, every time I see John Lennon, yeah, I always have respect for this guy, you know what I mean? Always have respect for him. Fantastic boxer. As I say, everybody around Labrador Grove, Notting Hill, they knew who he was, mate, and they had utmost respect for him. I understand my mate Fish, yeah, and Terry Oakway are going to try and do a podcast with John. At the minute, John Lennon's just come out of hospital. He's not very well, mate. I spoke to him yesterday on the phone. He's not well. He's not a well man. But it's like everything, innit? He's packed up smoking. He doesn't drink as such now. And, you know, and this guy is a proper man, yeah? And it's like everything, innit? If you don't look after your life, if you don't look after yourself at the beginning of your life, at the end of it, it catches up on you. You know, it does catch up on you, mate. That's why I train most days. if I can. Sometimes not today. I'm doing the book. The guy's coming down to do the book again with me. There's a few little queries, things he wants to know about, and after that, mate, it's going to the publishers. It's enough now. It's long enough. And this book's going to come out, and it's just unbelievable. The content is fantastic content. I don't think I put John Lennon in my book. I don't know. I think I put Only Wise in my book. John Lennon, I'd like to put a page on John, if possible. I'll see my mate today. See if I can put a page about John Lennon, Dennis Wise, with Ernie. They got big respect from me from Lambert Grove and Notting Hill. I mean, people on my channel now will know about John Lennon. Everybody knows about John Lennon who comes my way. Yeah. There's another guy that comes from Lambert Grove, East Acton, around that gate. There's a guy called Alan Burns. Me and Alan Burns has never got on together really, but Alan Burns is a legend, mate. He's a legend, Alan. He got done for shooting a security guard on the Grotus Road. They caught him. He had it out of a van. I believe the van was armoured. He got away. He went. I don't know where he went to. Holland, Spain, something like that. And they only caught him about 3 or 4 years ago. But he's in a bad way. Someone told me he's in a wheelchair. He's got Alzheimer's, and all I hope and pray is that he got a life sentence. All I hope and pray is that they let him go. But it is the law of this country, mate. They don't let you go, and don't ever give up. They don't ever give up looking for you, But now I'm not quite sure if he's in this country. I did hear he got extradited. I did hear he's in a high security nick. That's what I was told. Whether or not that's the truth, people will let me know in my comments. Yeah, but Alan Burns is another big legend. Yeah, he's a big legend. As I say, me and Alan didn't get on at all. We've never got on. I used to run clubs and bits and pieces, and when these people used to come, you knew there was always aggro, always problems. Anyway, good morning, and it's Bang Bang Rail. Nice one.